Yesterday, Donald Trump had another rally, this time taking place in North Carolina, and as expected, it was terrible. It seems like every single new rally Donald Trump has was worse than the last, and that's a pretty low bar to beat already. And especially now, because Kamala Harris is the Democratic nominee, and he doesn't really have any attacks against her. None of them are landing. He's just kind of making it up on the fly. So these rallies have become really embarrassing for Trump and the Republicans. So I have some clips from the rally that I want to show you. All of them are very crazy. The first one I'm going to play for you is Donald Trump being upset with Kamala Harris's main line of attack against him so far in the presidential race. So just take a look.
So think of it. They get me to that position, and then their campaign says, I'm the prosecutor, and he is the convicted felon. That's their campaign. I don't think people are going to buy it, and we want...
Man, he is feeling some heat. He does not like this attack because he knows it's effective. Not only is it persuasive, but it's also factually true. Kamala Harris was a prosecutor, district attorney in San Francisco, attorney general of the state of California, and she went after people who were sexual abusers, business fraudsters, bank fraudsters during her time in California. And Donald Trump is that guy. He is the sexual abuser. He is the business fraudster, the bank fraudster. He is the convicted felon. So this race, quite literally, is prosecutor versus felon. That is the truth. And your average American is looking at that saying, obviously, I'm going to go with the person who upholds the rule of law over the person who thinks that they are above the law and they break the law. And Donald Trump knows that. He says, I don't think people are going to buy it. Well, if he really thought that people weren't going to buy it, he wouldn't be bringing it up at his rally. He's clearly bothered by it. Donald Trump is so predictable. He's easy to read. When he's bothered by something, he doesn't just sit there quietly. He doesn't sit back and, whatever, I'll let them say it. He brings it to people's attention. He is bothered by this attack because he knows it's effective and he knows it's true. That is the dichotomy in this race. And I, obviously, and I think you would as well, want to be on the side of the rule of law. And I think the majority of Americans, overwhelming majority of Americans, would agree with that assessment. And that's panicking Donald Trump. So I just wanted to show you that really quickly. The next clip I want to show you is Donald Trump going back to his new line that continues to fall flat in its face. So take a look.
Prisons and jails, mental institutions, and insane asylums. They go crazy when I say the late, great Hannibal Lecter. Okay, they say, why would he mention Hannibal Lecter? He must be cognitively in trouble. No, these are real stories. Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lamb. He's a lovely man. He wants to have you for dinner. He'd like to have you for dinner.
I mean, that is just so insane. He continues this whole Hannibal Lecter thing. I don't know who on his team is telling him it's a good idea, but this is so bad. It's so embarrassing. It's quite laughable. I don't think anybody on the outside who's not a Trump supporter is saying, you know what, that's a really compelling point. Now I'm going to vote for him. I think everybody's laughing at him when he says something like this. And it's just ironic to me, more ridiculous, I should say, that the entirety of the presidential election when Joe Biden was the candidate was, well, I don't know if Joe Biden's fit to serve. That's what the Republicans said. And then simultaneously, we had Donald Trump talking about Hannibal Lecter as if he was a real person, the late, great Hannibal Lecter, saying it was real stories. Are you kidding me? This guy is off his rocker. He doesn't know where he is, and the Republicans don't want to talk about it. They say, oh, look at Joe Biden. They don't want to talk about Donald Trump talking about Hannibal Lecter, pretending that he's real, bringing up boats, batteries, sharks, and sinking boats, and all that nonsense. They don't want to talk about it. And it's insane that his crowd just claps along. They hear, oh, I love him. I love that he's bringing up Hannibal Lecter, even though it makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. But the beautiful thing about the race now is that the age argument that Republicans were making to all of us, which even though we knew was not true, it was absurd, is now flipped on its head. The Democrats get to have the other side of the age argument. Now we say, you know what? I think Donald Trump is too old. I don't think he's fit to serve another 4 years. He's 78. He'll be 82 by the end of his term. I don't think he's fit to serve. That's why we should elect the young prosecutor, Kamala Harris, at around 59 years old. Doesn't that make sense? Doesn't that make sense? The age argument is now our argument, not theirs anymore. So get it out there. Get it out there, especially when we see clips like this. Anyway, insane. The next clip I want to show you is Donald Trump talking about the post coverage of his assassination attempt, where everyone on the Republican side and folks in the media, specifically on the Republican side, said that Donald Trump is a changed man, that he's nicer, he's more unifying. But even now, Donald Trump himself is telling us that that's not the case. Seriously, take a look.
You know, I was supposed to be nice. They say something happened to me when I got shot. I became nice. And when you're dealing with these people, they're very dangerous people. When you're dealing with them, you can't be too nice. You really can't be. So if you don't mind, I'm not going to be nice. Is that okay? They want me to be nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the guy that Republicans told us was a changed man, that he was now unifying. He wasn't going to insult anybody anymore. He wasn't doing that childish stuff anymore. No. He wants to run for all Americans. He cares about all Americans regardless of political affiliation. That's the guy. Except now he's saying, he was making fun of these folks in the media saying something changed after I got shot. Now I'm nice. If you don't mind, I'm not going to be nice. He's openly telling us that that was all nonsense, because of course it was. And the insane thing is that the Republicans in the crowd, the people watching him, the people who were telling us that that was the case, they went wild. They all applauded him, saying, oh my God, yeah, don't be nice. Don't be nice. The Republicans were claiming to be the party of unity. Now they're applauding their guy, the convicted felon, for saying, I'm not going to be unifying. And it's so insane that people actually ran with that story, that Donald Trump at the convention is a changed man. He looks more somber. He understands the weight of the situation. No, he doesn't. He is the same old Donald Trump. He's not going to change. We know who he is. He's divisive. He's angry. He's hateful. That's who Donald Trump is. He's not going to change. Even he himself is acknowledging that he's not going to change. So on that point, nice transition, Donald Trump is now also, final clip I want to show you, his ego's bruised. His ego's bruised. We saw Kamala Harris's rally in Wisconsin. It was packed. People were excited to see her, and he didn't like that. So take a look at the clip.
And if I ever had a crowd like Kamala, assuming she had 2,000 people, which I don't think she did, but if I ever had a crowd, they'd do headline stories, Trump is over. It's all over. It's not working for him anymore. They never mentioned the crowd.
Yeah, he is upset at the excitement surrounding Kamala Harris's rally. He's back to this ego thing. He's back to this ego thing of, well, my crowd size is bigger than your crowd size. It's like my dad will beat up your dad. That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like. And he has to lie about the numbers. He has to say, oh, we got 100,000 in New Jersey. Oh, we got 80,000 in South Carolina. Oh, we got this. All of those numbers are fabricated. We know that. None of those numbers are real. They're not even close to being real. They're off by like tens of thousands of people. But he runs with them anyway because he can't possibly fathom Kamala Harris having more people at her rallies than him. He can't possibly fathom that there's more excitement around her candidacy around the country than his. She's raised well over $100 million by now. 100,000 new people have signed up to volunteer for her campaign. And Donald Trump's being left in the dust. A new polling is also showing her beating Donald Trump. He does not like that. So he has to, as I said, go back to these childish arguments. Show us who he really is. He's not unifying. Nice kind of connection between those two clips. He's not unifying. He's divisive. He's back to the playground insults, everybody, like we always knew he would be. So anyway, I just wanted to show you these clips from Donald Trump's rally yesterday. It was crazy. These rallies are always pretty terrible. So yeah, that's all. I'll leave the video there. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe down below. It goes an incredibly long way. Also, drop a like on the video, comment, let me know what you think about Trump's rally. And as always, I greatly appreciate you, and I hope you have an amazing rest of your day.